Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Teams in 20. So, this week we're going to be talking about colleague appreciation in Microsoft 365, and we have our amazing presenter, Carrie, presenting today. So, without further ado, I will hand over to Carrie, who will be talking about colleague appreciation.
Welcome, everyone. I'm really excited to be here. And in the spirit of colleague appreciation, I just wanted to take a couple of seconds to thank you very much for giving up 20 minutes of your lunch break, particularly on this boiling hot day, to continue to be at your laptop. So for me, colleague appreciation is an incredibly important topic and something that I spend quite a lot of time with my customers talking about and thinking about how we drive a greater employee experience as a result of it. Today, I'm going to give you some insights into the workplace today, why appreciation is important, and then I'm going to give you a quick demo on how technology can support this. So the workplace today. So we are seeing, according to some statistics from people like WorkHuman, we're seeing a significant decline in the levels of employee engagement. If employees are not leaving their organisations, they are in fact drifting further and further away from that central function and feeling less engaged, less productive, less valued. And all of those things are really, really important from an employee's ability to be able to retain the top talent that they want. We're seeing 1 in 4 say that they have been recognised in the last week to 10 days, whether that be verbal or whether it would be something more public in writing, for argument's sake. And only 15% of organisations are saying that they have a system that allows them to recognise their colleagues, their peers and their employees. So what is colleague appreciation? And colleague appreciation comes in a number of different ways. And I had a quick poll with my team just yesterday, actually, to talk about how it makes them feel when we appreciate them. And we had some of the themes that were coming back, which I'm sure, will resonate with you. But we had lots of conversation around it makes me feel warm and fuzzy. It makes me feel appreciated. It makes me feel motivated. But some also commented on how they feel when they're recognising others and the buzz that they get when they can call out the performance of others. And it doesn't just have to be on those really big ticket items. It could be on some of those much smaller things, supporting somebody with a project or pointing somebody to a resource to enable them to get their work done. All of those sorts of things are really, really valued. And one of the other things that came back actually was the feeling when you're having one of those darker days, perhaps something's gone wrong, perhaps something's gone wrong at home, nothing to do with work at all, and actually you're just feeling a little bit blue. One colleague commented about how seeing a little bit of public praise can really lift her spirits. So I guess my question to everyone on the call today is, when did you last share some appreciation with a colleague, whether that be verbal or indeed written down? How did it make you feel? And what steps can you take to show further appreciation, and how do we build the muscle doing so? So colleague appreciation can be either private or public, and I'm going to show you a couple of ways of doing that. It could be around praising a team effort. So perhaps it's not an individual at all. Perhaps it's a bigger team who've been working on a project. Maybe you might want to call out if somebody's been promoted or hit an important work milestone. And then, of course, calling out a specific individual for something that they've done. So why do we think this is important? We all come to work day in, day out. And hopefully, we all have some sense of connection to the culture that our organisations are living and breathing. But what we also want to do as individuals, and we have a really strong sense of this, is feel as though we belong to that organisation, feel as though, our self-worth, our well-being is actually taken into account. It's scientifically shown that actually by appreciating someone, it improves the engagement levels, it improves how they're feeling, and it improves their motivation levels. It's also an amazing way of retaining talent, top talent. So colleague appreciation isn't a nice thing to have, it's a mandatory thing to have when we think about all of these different things. And finally, colleague appreciation is a really fantastic way of improving individual impact. And certainly when I polled my team just yesterday, that was a theme that kind of continued to come up time and time again. So let's talk about some tips for showing appreciation, shall we? So I would love you all to share appreciation regularly, build a muscle, view it as something that you do as part of your weekly, daily, whatever works for you, but part of that regular rhythm. You'll be amazed at how it makes you feel good, as well as how it makes your colleagues feel good as well. Be really genuine with it. And some of the feedback we had yesterday was sometimes feedback can feel a little bit false, and we absolutely don't want that. So look for those opportunities in your teams to say thanks and be really committed to doing so, and then make it easy to access. And I'm going to show you some tools in a second which will enable you to do that. So I'm just going to switch my screen to my demo tenant. So the first thing I want to show you is how to share praise using Viva Insights. So perhaps a quick raise of hands, and Zane, if you can keep an eye on that, a raise of hands or a quick like if people have used Viva Insights before. Now, just a few moments ago, I talked to you about building a muscle. Now, most of us struggle to remember to do new things because, we're busy doing our jobs, going to meetings, managing children, whatever we might be doing. We've got a lot going on. We're all super busy. So the most important thing that we do is use some of the technology's functionality to enable us to build the muscle in the first place. So if you can see these little 3 dots here, you just go ahead and click on those and into settings. Now you can use Viva Insights to set a number of different reminders, but for the purposes of today, we're going to use it to set our reminder to praise. Now I've switched my reminder on. I can choose to be reminded to send praise every day, couple of days, whatever I want. So let's say for the purposes of this, I want to send some praise on a Monday, a Wednesday and a Friday. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that at 9 o'clock in the morning. And the reason I'm going to do that, or 9:30, let's say, give me a chance to think about it. The reason I'm going to do that is because I want this praise to land early on. I want to receive maximum coverage, not just for that person that I'm praising, but for other people as well. So other people can get on that, they can like the post, they can comment on the post. Maybe it's a team effort and then other people can leverage the work of that team as well. So all I need to do is hit save the changes. And as you can see, true Blue Peter style, I will be reminded in here on those particular days to send gratitude to my co-workers. So it's really helping me as an individual to build that muscle. Now I'm going back into Viva Insights, and the really nice thing here is it's prompting me, it's recommending different pieces of content for me. Now there's 2 things you can do in here. You can send praise and you can review the praise that you've been sent and also the praise that you have sent to others. So let's just have a quick look at send praise. So the first thing we do is we choose an individual. So let me send some praise to, let's send some praise to Erwin. Erwin's been pretty cool. Now I can choose to send that as a chat, which will go directly to Erwin, or I can choose to send that to the team's channel, which means everybody in that team will be able to see the praise that I've sent to Erwin. I am actually going to go ahead and send it in the Teams channel because I want everyone to recognise, the work that he's been doing. So you can choose a team here, whichever team you want to send that to, and then you can choose the channel. We're just going to put in here, you have been amazing helping the new starters on board. And I can choose what I want to say, is he awesome? Am I thanking him? Congratulations. I'm going to say he's a team player because I think that's a really amazing thing. I can choose the background if I want to. So maybe I want to make it a bit more purple or green, whatever. And then I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to hit send. And what we can do is just to have a quick look at that. That will land instantaneously. So we'll go ahead and go into Teams, into the general channel. And when that resonates, you'll be able to see that I have sent praise to Erwin, and that's landed. That's visible to all of us, which I just love. The other thing that you can do here, just to kind of build that story, if you like, is to have a look at all the praises. So what we can see here is that, over the last period, I've praised a fair few people, which is really fantastic. but what I can do is I can show the full praise history. So no one's praised me this month. That's really sad. But I've sent all of these. I can scroll backwards as well, so I can see what I did for May as well. Now, the reason I'm showing you that is because at Microsoft, we have a process called perspectives. So people will ask for our input at one-to-one times or whenever they wish to throughout the year. And sometimes, if it's not somebody that you work with all of the time, or even if it is, it's really lovely to be able to go in and look at the times when you've shared praise with them and just pull out some of those themes to be able to give a really strong level of feedback. So that's a couple of different things that you can do with praise within Viva Insights. The other thing that I wanted to show you is Viva Engage. And this is kind of wider audience, if you like. And what I've done here is I have kind of done some pre-canned ones for you. So we've pasted in the leadership channel, for example. We can see, what Megan's been praised for. I can like and engage with that comment. I can like and engage with that particular post. I can comment. Maybe I'm just going to say congrats. Whoops. So again, you can really get involved, and the more that people kind of support the praises that are being shared, the better the engagement levels go. And when we go back to the things that we talked about earlier around employee retention, morale, well-being, self-worth, all of those sorts of things, I'm sure that each and every one of you on the call can relate to how it feels to receive a simple thanks. How do you go about doing this though? So you simply go into whichever community you want, you hit praise. We'll send it to, let's go with our friend Erwin again. And we'll just say awesome job. Whoops. And then I can select the community that I want to put that in. I'm going to go in the CEO connection and just send the praise that way. So again, it's a really simple and easy way of sharing your thanks and your appreciation with your colleagues. The final thing that you could do if you wished was a straightforward chat message. So if I go into the chat that I've been having with Miriam here, so my praise icon's gone, this update. And then my praise button will appear here. And again, I can just follow the exact same process that I have just shown you. The only difference is this will go to her as an individual as opposed to a more public display. So that was a quick whistle-stop tour on employee appreciation. I really hope that that was useful. And if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Thank you so much.
So coming up, we have a session about an introduction to adoption and change next week. So make sure you tune into that at Wednesday at 12 p.m. And that is it. Thank you so much for joining us today.